I'm going to assume it's live now. Hello everyone, this is Ryan with American Mobile Training Solutions, and I thank you for joining us on this, the last of our series on the fundamentals of marksmanship, and we're going to be going over follow through. And if you hold on for just a minute while everybody kind of gets on, I'm going to try and get on my laptop and share it to a group. So if you'll just hang on a second, I appreciate it. And I'll have to refresh the page, but give me just a second here. Where is it? Follow through, there we go. Alright, just a second, sorry. Un momento, por favor. Yeah, we'll do that one. And share it to a group. Springfield, Missouri Regional 2A Society sounds like a good one. Cool. And then I'm going to share it one more. If I can share it now, I guess. I'll try it this way. Cool. Alright, now let me get set up over here if you don't mind. Sorry for the delay there. I'll have to do this, figure it out here. Alright, so today we're going to talk about follow through. It's the last in our series that we've been on for the last week or so. We've gone over stance, grip, aim, trigger control, breath control, and now it's finally follow through. And this is where we bring everything together after the firing sequence has been initiated, has been sent out downrange, and then we have to reset everything, but we don't want to rework everything. And so there's a couple things that we'll talk about today. As you guys know, our one focus is to make sure that you guys have the best training available, whether that's with us or any other reputable trainer. Please go get training. Make sure you have the best information and most up-to-date policies and procedures in place. So if we learn something new and it works and it's vetted, then we'll start working with that. Otherwise, we've been doing this for a long time. Not to say that we know everything, but I'd like to think that having done this every day for 7 years, that we would know something. So disclaimer, main thing to take away from this is that we provide procedures, guidelines, consultation, education. It's not to be interpreted as the only way to do something. Please always abide by city, state, local, federal laws, ordinances, things like that when it comes to firearms and training. Also, unless you're under the direct supervision of an AMTS instructor, we take no responsibility for what you do in your own home. So keep that in mind, please. All right, so today, fundamentals of marksmanship, how to create proper follow through. We must consider natural point of aim, trigger press, and recoil recovery. And that's all part of the follow through. And so I'm going to expound on each one of these real briefly over the next few minutes, and I'll have to get behind there and periodically check if you guys have any comments or anything like that. But please feel free to comment. Also, super brief shout out. I just started our YouTube channel, and so you can look for it under American Mobile Training Solutions. I'm uploading all of these videos that I've done over the last week, and so it'll be available for you at all times on there. And like I said, the reason why we provide this content is because I think that it's valuable. I want to make sure that you guys have the information out there, and it's our duty that since we have trained on this, it's our duty to make sure that you get it to you. If you guys want more training, you guys can call me, direct message me, whatever, but this is the overview stuff. So here we are, natural point of aim. So if you don't know what natural point of aim is, I know this looks fuzzy, but it's not actually fuzzy. What you need to do for your natural point of aim, whether you're here or you're in a prone position or whatever the case may be, you have what's called a natural point of aim, and it's generally you can follow your belly button up through the center of your body. And whenever I punch out like this, if I'm using my muscles, I'm going against my natural point of aim. And the whole idea is that you're going to assume your shooting position, you're going to close your eyes, you're going to keep your sights up and down range, All right, you're going to open your eyes, and then when you open your eyes, you're going to see where your sights have aligned relative to the target. Okay, so if my target's, let me do it this way. If my target's here, and I close my eyes and I go through my breathing cycle, and I end up over here, I need to adjust, like, because I'm over here, I need to adjust my natural point of aim to come over here. It's a huge step in your shooting process that if you can take the time to understand how it all works, you're going to take a target from here to here. All right, you're going to increase your accuracy, and it's just a fact. It's just the way the body works. Repeat this process until sights and body are naturally aligned. So if you're in a positional shooting stance, like let's say that you are prone, unsupported, or supported, you're going to slowly and carefully move your whole body to adjust your natural point of aim. And at first it takes a little bit, it's a little weird because you have to repeat it over and over again. But pretty soon you'll find that you can get into very close natural point of aim with just a few corrections. And the idea is that you're building this muscle memory, and so whenever I come up on a target, I'm already at my natural point of aim, whether that's, you know, with the rifle or the pistol or shotgun even type of thing, right? All right, so natural point of aim. I'm gonna pause to take a look, see if we have any comments, because I want you guys to feel free to have any comments. Hey Mom. Hey Ashton, thanks for watching. Thanks everybody else that's watching as well. Appreciate it. Alright, next one is your trigger press. Alright, so I have a diagram here for your trigger press, and the idea is that you can't ever get it quite straight as you come back. It's a press, it's not a pull, it's not a squeeze, it's not anything like that. The idea is that you're going to slowly press the trigger straight to the rear, all right? So there's a break on this trigger, and that's what we want to break the trigger. So keep constant rearward pressure until trigger breaks, and then you're going to know but not anticipate, and you're not going to compensate for the impending recoil. And what the human body does is it knows that there's going to be a recoil, and so it braces against it. So your body's almost working against yourself. And so the idea, though, is that you know it's coming, and as long as you apply these fundamentals with your trigger press, you're going to have the ideal impact on from where you're aiming. So this is a little diagram, if you will, about what proper trigger press on your finger would look like. So if you have too little, and I'll see if I can't emulate it. All right, so if I have too little, it's going to naturally, whenever I press back, it's going to naturally move this way, which is where I've got right here, right? If I've got too much, it's going to pull the other way, okay? So the idea is that I get it as close to the center of my front pad as possible, and it just goes straight back. That's your trigger press. All right, once it breaks, we know that the recoil is coming, but we don't want to anticipate it. We don't want to compensate for it. Finally, recoil recovery. Look at that good-looking fella, huh? All right. Thanks to Ashton for taking that picture, by the way. I appreciate it. After the projectile has exited the barrel of the recoil will lift the firearm up and to the left or the right. Mine always goes up and to the right because I'm a right-handed firer, and so that's the path of least resistance, right? So this would go up and then to the right after I've fired. And so the idea is that it comes up and to the right and it has to settle back down. So this is my recoil recovery. I know what's going to happen. It's going to go, right? Because I've already got all my other stuff set. So whenever this happens, it should settle right back to my natural point of aim. That's the best case scenario. As long as I'm not using my muscles to push or pull anything, it should happen that way. What I like to do is, if I have time, I like to, which fortunately I've always had time, I like to complete a full breath cycle to allow for the firearm to settle. So I'm going to fire, I'll breathe, I'll let it settle, and then I can fire again. And that's my cadence. That's what I was talking about yesterday with that breath control. And then apply all the previous fundamentals of marksmanship in reacquiring or acquiring that target. So if I have two targets, I'm going to fire, like that little pew pew, right? All right, instead of pushing, pulling over here, because remember we talked about stance, this is my tracks, these are my turrets, I can only go over here so far, I have to adjust my natural point of aim, fire, okay, that's the idea. And so, if you recall what we just went through, it was the fundamentals of marksmanship, follow through. We've gone over stance, we've gone over grip, aim, breath control, follow through, trigger control, all of these things. We didn't cover draw, we didn't cover a lot of the more in-depth procedures that you would need, but it's an overview, right? So these are quick 10, 12-minute videos that whether you're a 20-year veteran or just getting into the shooting sports, you should be able to take something away from this from people that have been doing it professionally for a long period of time. And so if you do have any other questions about the fundamentals of marksmanship, please feel free to contact us. I'd love to build relationships. Like I said, we just started our YouTube channel, so please go over there and subscribe. It means the world to me. And as we create this content and continue to build this content, it's also going to get pushed onto the YouTube platform as well. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to go over the components, the firearm components of a semi-automatic pistol and a revolver. And then we will also be going over that next day, we'll be going over the AR platform. And the rest of the week we have firearm selection. So how do you select a firearm? Caliber, manufacturer, etc., things like that. Christina was very kind to mention and to remind me that it would be a good idea to discuss firearm safes and the use of firearm safes, and so we'll be covering that probably on Saturday, I think. And then we're going to get into the spring series. So unless you guys want to continue to hear about firearms, which I would love to talk about, I've got like months worth of content that I can give you guys. We're going to move into the spring series, and I think what we're going to do is probably water procurement first. And so it's how to procure water in the natural state of the world and things like that. But that's all for later. Let me check and hold on. Let me see if there's any other comments or anything. I don't know about the static. Sorry about that, Mom. But please feel free to like, share, ask your friends to invite your friends to join. We appreciate it. That's it for today. Appreciate you guys. Stay safe out there. Have a great day. Bye.